What's going on again, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing another unboxing and review of yet another Playmates Godzilla Kaiju action figure. This time we have the Playmates Godzilla Gigan from, as you can see, 2004. That would be his appearance in the Kaiju film, the Toho film Godzilla Final Wars from 2004. So guys, once again, my name is Matt, and this is the Pop Complex. Alright guys, welcome back to the Pop Complex, the place for retro pop culture and toy collecting. Before we get started guys, hit that like button and support the channel, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified anytime the Pop Complex uploads a new video. Guys, you don't want to miss a thing. So here we have again Godzilla, the Playmates Godzilla line, Gigan 2004, as he appeared in Godzilla Final Wars, the Toho Kaiju film from 2004. And we all know a little bit of history about Gigan. Now this appearance here was his last famous Toho film appearance, and he looks quite different than he did back in the Showa era of Godzilla movies. He looks a lot more ferocious, a lot more sharp, and kind of a lot more mecha in his look. But Gigan did make his first Toho film appearance in 1972's Godzilla vs. Gigan, and then he made a subsequent appearance in the following film, 1973's Godzilla vs. Megalon. And guys, I do like the classic Showa era look of this kaiju, but this look is pretty cool. It's a more modern look, as you can see there. But let's take a look at the packaging first and foremost. We have that epic Godzilla Playmates text logo here headlining the package, as we have been seeing with these figures. Gigan 2004, the Playmates logo right there, and the official Godzilla text logo. If you flip it around to each side, we have more of the same on each side. The bottom is that empty, hollow, open air packaging that we are accustomed to with these particular figures. And here on the back, if we zoom in here, we do have the Playmates logo there, the TOHO Studios logo, and the Godzilla picture logo there. We have Godzilla.com, PlaymatesToys.com information, legal information there, and the barcode. But if we step it back just a little bit here, we can see that we do have a picture of some of the other figures in the line here, guys. There, of course, is Gigan 2004 himself. We have here at the bottom Space Godzilla, which I already did an unboxing and review video on the channel. I'll put a link in the description, and you can see a card up here in the upper right hand corner for that video. And finally, we also have Destoroyah, who I just recently unboxed and reviewed here on the channel, exclusively on the Pop Complex. Again, guys, link in the description to that video, and a card will be right here. So we'll flip this back around, and as you can see with the other Playmates and Bandai figures that I have been unboxing, we have the classic Godzilla Japanese character logo on the left-hand side, and here we have a photo of the Millennium Godzilla figure right here on the right side. And as you can see, Gigan is right there secured in the packaging, but I'm not going to show him off just yet, because in the packaging that does not do him any justice. So guys, without further ado, let's not waste any more time. We're going to get Gigan 2004 out of the package. Stay tuned. Alright guys, and we're back with Gigan 2004 from Godzilla Final Wars. So we'll take a closer look here, and I've got his hook claws posed outward. But you can see as I move them down, we'll take a look at the detail here on the face. As you can see, we have that classic bird beak and visor look to the eyes, and the shape of the head, and these two mandibles that come out beside his jaws there, which is the classic look of Gigan. And I'll put a picture of his first appearance, the classic Showa era look, as a comparison so you guys can see that in greater detail. But he does have this almost mechanical mecha looking fin coming up the back of his neck there, and he has this sharp hook blade horn protruding from his head there. But that is the classic Gigan look, with that classic ferocious vulture beak look. Pretty good detail on this figure, and the paint job is pretty decent as well, with a lot of different colors here going on. And I know with him being looking more mechanical rather than organic in this appearance, there's not really a whole lot of opportunity to get a lot of shading and blending of the colors. So there was a good opportunity for us to really enjoy those solid lines and the solid colors in the paint job. So he has his classic buzz saw coming out of his torso, as you can see here, and his body, the way that it's designed for this particular appearance, this particular film, as you can see, it almost has an organic xenomorph alien type look to it, or maybe like the Borg from Star Trek. But here are his updated hook blade hands, his claws there, much more menacing looking than the Showa Era for sure. He is more menacing and more dangerous and scary looking overall than his Showa Era appearance. But there's something that I really like that's very charming still about his Showa Era look. But he has these three dorsal fins here that almost resemble wings. And they are painted a solid red, and as you can see, the different fins there that are protruding up from those. And we have some metallic blue there where the dorsal fins actually meet his back. This paint overall has sort of a metallic gloss to it as well that shines really good in the light. Now you can move down to his spiked knee pads there that he has. Again, he really has that xenomorph organic look to him. And even down to the spikes, the claws on the front of his feet there. Looking at his tail, we've got a row of dorsal fin spikes that continue on with the black underside of the tail and the metallic gray topping the top of the tail, almost like some armor there. Finishing off at the tip of this tail with this dangerous looking hook blade spike that is consistent with the way his claws, his hook blade claws, and really the rest of him is designed. It's very consistent all through the design of this particular kaiju. Now let's take a closer look at the articulation. Now, as you can see here, there's a cut here at the bottom of the neck that would indicate some neck articulation, but as you can see, it's there, but he cannot really move with the way that the figure is designed here. If you look closer, the articulation is there, but these shoulder pads are so big in the way they surround and come up around his neck. He really can't get any left to right movement out of the neck articulation, but unfortunately it is there, just not really able to be utilized. Now the shoulders are articulated here. The elbows are already sculpted in this pre-bent pose on each one, but he does have the shoulder articulation, so he can only go back on his right arm as far back as this shoulder pad, the shoulder plate will allow. That's as far back as he can go. And he goes forward up to about right there, again, where this shoulder plate does restrict and cut off that movement. The other side, which would be his left, he can go a little over 90 degrees outward before his shoulder plate stops him. Coming around his leg there, that's about where he stops there, because the back of his arm here is stopped by that shoulder plate right about there. So looking at his claws, his blade claws, there is no wrist cut there where his wrist would be to allow any left and right swivel of either one of his claws. So they are pre-sculpted in this pose. You can only get movement forward and back out of the arms. Now we'll take a closer look at the legs. Unfortunately, this leg here is restricted to about right there. It is pre-sculpted in this back pose, like his right leg is kind of back and his left leg is facing a little bit forward. And as you can see, the bend in the toe there would indicate that about right there, as you can see, he does stand up about right there as far as his leg going back and his left leg coming forward. So that's sort of the pre-sculpted pose that he is intended to stand in for display. But as far as going forward, I don't know why you'd really need this articulation, but his leg will go out to about right there, Not much more right there before it begins to be stopped. But again, just showing you guys where that articulation is, not that you would really need that for his pose. With the other leg, which is his left leg, it stops about right there. I can't go any farther back than that. And as far as coming out, very similar but more restricted than his other leg to about right there is as far as we can really get. But again, sort of with the bend in his toes there, that's about the pre-pose that you would get to display him ideally, where his feet stand flat on the ground. Now the last piece of articulation that we have is in his tail. There is one here, right here, there's a cut here, and his tail and his entire body actually fit, as you could see in the prior view that we had of this figure while he was still in the package, that his tail did not need to come unassembled as a separate piece to fit into the packaging. It was all assembled. He fit in there rather nicely. So this was pre-assembled, but he does have this cut right here, and you get that full 360-degree range of articulation there in the tail. So guys, there he is. That is 2004's Gigan from Godzilla Final Wars. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and as always, I would ask that you hit like on this video and share it out to all of your fellow Godzilla and Kaiju fans. It really helps the channel, it really helps support this particular video, guys. And as always, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, and if you hit the bell, you're always going to be notified anytime that I upload a brand new video to the Pop Complex. Again, guys, the Pop Complex is the place for toy collecting and all things retro pop culture. You can also support the channel by checking out my merchandise store for t-shirts, hoodies, and coffee mugs at thepopcomplex.com. Link will be in the description. You can also support me at patreon.com/thepopcomplex. Link in the description. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a monstrous awesome day.